Hello, welcome back to TFR eSports Season 24. Here we are for round 10 of the F2 division. I am your usual commentator, CJH, joined by Epic the Animal, the two-time F1 champion in the commentary box. TFR F1 champion, I will just add, just so people don't jump the gun there and think we've got a real-life F1 champion in the comments box. As cool as that would be, but
hey, I'm pretty good.
yeah. I'm not trying to put you down. I do apologise, but we are here for the Singapore GP, and this track has delivered in bucket loads over the seasons. It seems to just be a bit of a classic here at TFR, and whether it's mixed conditions, whether it's safety cars, it always throws up a bit of drama and a bit of chaos, particularly towards the end of the season. And that is what we're near now. We've only got 3 rounds to go, like I say, and it's pretty much a title fight now between Michael Luis and, where is his name, Haraberman in the Aston Martin. Hyperghost, who I was just thinking of there, he, unfortunately for him, is serving a race ban for exceeding the penalty point limit tonight. And after a poor race in Imola, you can argue, Logan, he was potentially already out of the title race. But then we've also got in the Constructors' battle a tasty little fight between Sauber and RB. RB now jumping back ahead of Sauber. There's plenty still to play for.
Yeah, there's absolutely everything still to play for. One bad race for either one of our championship contenders could bring Hyperghost back into it if he has a strong final 2 rounds of the season. I love this track. That great balance of there being a big skill gap in the driving, walls that will punish you, track limits that can be easily exceeded, but still places to overtake, unlike some tracks that are near impossible to overtake on. It's that great balance in league racing this track is. I've always loved it. I'm also a little biased because my last win in this league was at this track. But man, he made me feel like an old man saying it's season 24. How soon ago it seemed like we were saying season 7, 8, 9, but here we are tonight, and I'm looking at these timings right now, CJ, and I'm in utter disbelief. Danik, P1, followed by Schaefer, Gavukapa, RB with a strong showing, Michael Luis all the way down 7th, Harriman's in front of him, but still only in P5, and those gaps that's 6/10 Harriman to Danik. And that's not something that we've seen in previous tracks where Danik is gapping the field in terms of pace. I'm sure we're going to see these timings change on these final runs as we're under 3 minutes now, but very interesting start to the session before we started the stream in terms of how things kind of lined up with their first couple runs.
Yeah, it is looking very unexpected at the minute. We've got the top 2 now on their outlaps coming out into the circuit. We've not got too many drivers as well serving any engine penalties. It's only Codematic tonight. He's out there on an outlap at the minute. Hopefully he will dive into the pit lane. But apart from Toe Lobster, who is retired from this session, everybody you would imagine will dive back out the pits very shortly. He is a reserve tonight. He's a new driver in that Red Bull, but everybody else has been here before, and they are all ready to tackle this challenging circuit in the final 2 minutes here. The question is, who will be on pole? Will we see a shock? And like you say, Logan, it is all up for grabs at the minute, and I've got no idea who is going to be on pole here.
I got no idea either, and yeah, Top Lobster, he clipped the wall on the bridge section of the track, and he did actually crash out DNF in that style. So an unfortunate start for him, but hey, with no pressure on you being a reserve driver, starting from the back, you only have things to gain from there. So sometimes when you're expecting the worst, that's kind of when the best happens, when you don't have those expectations in yourself. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace he has and if he's able to come up through the field. Same thing with Codematic, who we've seen glimpses of great pace from him as well. He's kind of one of those drivers that I've seen in the past stay penalty clean and jump a lot of spots come the checkered flag. So especially if we have one of those classic late safety cars here at Singapore that we always tend to have in TFR, can't count him out as well. Can't count anyone out, and we still got one more run for everyone in qualifying.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, further down, Scones has put himself into the top 10. He's now alongside his teammate Michael Luis in 8th and 9th, but Michael Luis really needs a lap here. Schaefer's invalidated. He's invalidated his final run here. Second place is the max that he will achieve. Danique is right behind him, though, coming through the first sector here. And what a session, should I say, he is on for at the minute. Here he comes up to the line, and he's up. He's purple in the first sector, and he could be in the mix here for his first ever pole position. And what a place it could be to do that, Logan.
Yeah, it'd be a great place to do it. Street circuit, and with rain to start this race, it's going to be harder to overtake without the DRS. So track position is going to be really important early on, as we got a Williams around at the end of Sector 2. Ronnie has lost it under braking after the bridge section, so his last lap isn't going to be anything good. Holy crap, it's all going to kick off right here at the end, CJ.
Well, Danique will be the first of these top runners to hit the line, and everyone else will be going at it, and he is flying. He's 3.5 tenths up in the middle sector, a little bit wide there, as the checker flag is now out. From 9th down to 14th, they're all done and dusted, but Danique here got a little bit of traffic up the road, but so far this looks incredibly good for the current pole man. He's got one more corner to go. How much is he going to extend his advantage at the top? He looked good so far. Here he comes up to the line. And it's a 28.6, a stunning lap there. 4.5 tenths clear of second place. Can the rest catch him? Alfie is invalidated. So too is Haraberman. That is big. That is big for the championship. Michael Luis is going to be the next to hit the line. The championship leader. Can he salvage a result here in qualifying? Yes, he can, but he's only third. Half a second off pole. JVKP is coming around the final corner. He is flying as well. Can he snatch pole? Yes, he does. Incredible. A 28.5. What a lap. And the only man who could stop him is Portsmouth. He goes 6th. What a lap from JVKP at the end. He's denied Danique. He'll be gutted about that, Logan. But what a time from the RB driver.
Great job by Gavukapo there. He's always been in that front-running group. Same thing with Schaefer. First and third for RB. They've been killing it in the constructors here in the second half of the season. What a performance by Danique. He's only had disastrous races so far, but glimpses of hope in terms of his pace, and he really did put it together here in qualifying. All of his runs were solid. Great start for him in P2. And Michael Luis, 3 positions between him and the other championship contender in Haraberman, with some strong competition in between them, and Ronnie's starting right behind Haraberman. He might be able to pull spoiler on Haraberman if he gets ahead of him early in the race. That could stifle his progress trying to move up through the field. What a session it was. Not
Absolutely.
a good day for McLaren, 12th and 14th. Another dismal qualifying session, and just another dismal session in general for Red Bull. They only got one car in the race, and it's dead last. Another awful start for Red Bull. And yeah, I'm very surprised by this. I don't see a Michael Luis. I don't see a Haraberman up top, and Hyper Ghost isn't here. Whose bingo card had none of those 3 in the top 3 in qualifying today?
I know, it's funny, isn't it, how you can get onto a track like this where it is so unique to any other circuit, and we just get such a mixed up grid. JVKP then takes pole around the streets of Singapore. I'm quickly checking. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in that. That is JVKP's first ever pole in TFR eSports, and he's denied Danique his first ever pole as well, Logan.
Look at that gap. Look at that gap, CJ, from second to third. It's the better part of half a second. And then the rest of the field kind of is even in terms of how the times trickle down from there. But man, what an interesting session that was. That was not what I was expecting, but we do have rain at the beginning of this race. So we'll see how everyone's wet pace is, because Michael Luis has been great in the wet. Is he going to be able to come up through the field here early on in this one? Is it going to be inters? Is it going to be wets? Who knows? But we're about to go green here in X amount of seconds time.
Yeah, this is the thing. If you thought that was a dramatic qualifying session, just to add a bit more spice into the mix, we've got a bit of light rain at the start of this race, and with the championship really on the line, this is just not the ideal scenario for Michael Luis and Haraberman. They are right in the thick of it, and we've seen plenty of incidents on the opening lap here. Portsmouth has managed to get in at the last second there. I doubt he'll be able to take over the car in time for when the lights go out, so he will probably drop back a little bit at the beginning of this one. But I say to the viewers, once again, keep an eye on Michael Luis and Haraberman. There is only 14 points between them in the championship with 3 rounds to go. And every race from here on in matters absolutely to the most. And we're just waiting to go to the grid. And there we go. Here we are. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers here in Singapore. And we are underway. It was a hell of a long wait, but JVKP has got a good start, and so too has Michael Luis, charging down the inside there up into second place, and they make contact. Michael Luis gets clattered by the RB and the Mercedes there, and again
around in the back.
And there is another car.
Back,
yeah, you're right. And the yellow flags are out. Michael Luis is going to get picked off by Danique. The 2 RBs are almost wheel to wheel there. What a start from Schaefer. But Michael Luis then getting into the wars. He's managed to recover and he's gained a position on the start. But for a moment there, Logan, he was on absolute charge down the inside. Danique is very close again, unable to make a move into this corner, and we have a crash at the back. That is a Sauber of Scones in the wall with the Red Bull.
Yep. Yeah, Scones contact with Top Lobster down the straight. They both end up in the wall. Ronnie with damage as well, I believe. No, actually, Ronnie doesn't have damage. He must have got clipped in the rear. And yeah, lots of contact here early on in this one. Tricky track and extra tricky in these conditions as they continue. English is hard. They continue to battle through Sector 2.
Oh, and Michael Luis is overtaken there. He's been overtaken. He might get overtaken by the Haas as well. Yes, he does. Alfie then gets ahead. There's Harriman. Have they made contact? I think they almost made contact there, the 2 championship protagonists. Michael Luis there really struggling through those couple of corners. Harriman now is not far away. He's not quite close enough on the exit of that corner. He's got the Ferrari and the Mercedes going wheel to wheel just behind him. But a dramatic start here, as we expected. And Michael Luis, who looked like he was going to move up into second, has found himself now down into 5th before the end of the first lap.
Yeah, we have even more contact in the back as Action Rick and Ronnie continue to touch. They're still battling heading into this final chicane on the first lap. It's all gloves off here on lap 1 in the midfield and towards the back of the grid as they're trying to make up spots quickly here in this one.
JVKP has disconnected. We're trying to get him back in, but he has lost the lead now to Schaefer. He's trundling through the first corner there. He's going to drop down to 3rd. He'll be desperately trying to get back in the session, but what a shame for him after such a good launch and such a good pole lap. He's now into 3rd, and well, that is unbelievably unfortunate for him. Alfie then continuing his good start to this race should then move up into 3rd very shortly, but JVKP, what a shame for him, Logan.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, both McLarens are up in the 9th and 10th. Great start for them, and they're rocking 2 different liveries somehow. Raheem's in the chrome, Codematic's not, as Codematic makes contact with Jay Oaks. As they're banging wheels here at the beginning of Sector 2, he gets into the wall and the exit the corner on the outside. They're still side by side as we head to the bridge section. Looks like Comac's going to get in. He's found himself up in the 8th already.
Yeah, great stuff. Oh, but a contact though. Oh my word, almost found the barrier with the Ferrari there. Just tapping the McLaren, gets away with it. And, well, he's coming under a bit more pressure. Going to this hairpin, there's more contact. Jay Oaks there really struggling to use the brakes, it seems, through those corners. But Codematic is going to survive. And JVKP is still not back in this session. Down into 7th place now. And this is desperately unlucky for him.
Yeah, that's an awful start for him. Hopefully he can get back in and move his way back up through the field. But yeah, 3 cars pitting after lap 1 for damage. Ronnie and Sci-Fi going wheel to wheel through the final chicane. Sci-Fi gets loose. They barely touch, but Ronnie just gets through, and he's just behind Raheem now, as Oaks is now overtaken Gavukaput as well. What a start to this race. Front 2 runners pulling away. Danique and Schaefer. Already time penalties coming on the board for Orbing. Man, we're going to have ourselves another banger here in F2.
Absolutely. Already dramatic scenes at the start of this one. Ronnie with a penalty, as well as Portsmouth here. Portsmouth really putting the pressure on Michael Luis here. He's going to have a little run at the championship leader here. Would you believe it? On his debut, it goes to the outside on the Sauber. They make a bit of contact under braking. The Mercedes will try and hang it on. Pushed off the circuit. And we'll chuck it up the inside again. Incredible. They make more contact. Almost pushes the Sauber into the barrier there. And, well, Portsmouth is not
crash
many punches.
Big crash behind. Raheem into the wall. Ronnie gets into him. Oh, good thing they ghosted, or else it would have been an almighty pile up there. That right-hander in the start of Sector 2. Wow, two guys got into each other. They ended up in that soft barrier on the outside, and they were just kind of stuck there with people hitting them behind. And it looks like it could be more damage for Ronnie, as Williams is going to be running out of front wings here sooner rather than later. Yep, no front end plate for Ronnie. Lots of damage on that front wing. Damage for Raheem. Man, this is a crazy start to this race. Ronnie with a 10-second time penalty.
And he's put it in the wall,
And it looks like he's
has.
going to retire from the session. And I think he did so he didn't once again win the Darkie Award, but he is still, even while DNF. The front runners, we got contact. Codematic, it gets into the back of Haribo Man under braking. No parts of his wing missing, though. Front two are checking out, but this midfield is just an absolute scrap, and the more they fight, the more the front runners are going to break away, as we got 4.5 seconds from second to third, and we're only starting lap 4.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The top two then really dropping, well, pulling clear, shall I say, of Alfie.
5 seconds now.
Yeah, Alfie, I think, is a bit of a cork in the bottle at the minute, but Michael Louise is not exactly putting pressure on him, and Portsmouth is really putting the pressure on the Sauber driver. The rain has stopped, I believe. It has stopped. So we're at that crossover point of the race. That's quite early. Only 4 laps in, and look at that behind. Codematic having a little look at Harriman. Something is up with the championship challenges here, because they have got no pace at all. They really are struggling to actually finish in the top 5 here, because Portsmouth is seriously putting the pressure on Michael Louise, and I just would have never ever expected this. There he goes, Codematic again, looking to the inside of Harriman, and just not quite close enough.
And it looks like Alfie is starting to struggle just a little bit on his tires as well, as we're going to have a DRS train, just minus the DRS from 3rd to 5th. Actually, yeah, Hairberman just out of that DRS range. Well, just out, like half a second out. Wow, he makes up 3/10 though at the end of the bridge section, and we're going to have an almighty fight from 3rd all the way down to 7th. And the question's going to be, when is the time to pit, and what tire are they going to go to? We've seen many circumstances where the drivers get it wrong, and my sanity is absolutely lost.
Absolutely. Well, this is the track, though, that you do not want to get it wrong at, because it's so easy to just put it in the wall and your race is over in a split second. But nobody's diving in the pits just yet. The track seemingly still quite greasy, and I kind of agree with that, although Schaefer there, our race leader, getting all out of shape there.
Codematic going to Haberman again. Haberman's going to go wide. I think Codematic might get this. Can he hold it? Can he get to the throttle quickly? No, he cannot. That was a great opportunity. He wasn't able to make it happen, and Haberman just holds on to P6. They're still side by side.
Oh.
He's going to give him the switch back there. What a move! And it's going to allow Jay Oaks to get back into the battle, and we've seen him go side by side already with Codematic. This is just going to get more and more hectic. They're still side by side going into the corner. This might end badly. Nope, Codematic gets on the brakes enough. Doesn't get into the back of Haberman. Top Lobsters. Quickest lap. Purple lap.
Raheem's in for hard tyres.
But yeah.
That's the first car to pull the trigger. I mean, he's not got much to lose, but hard tyres is, well, he'll be going to the end, but they might struggle to get up to temperature initially. We'll keep an eye on his pace here. But these two here, Haberman and Codematic, are losing plenty of time. DRS is enabled. So that tells us, Logan, surely it's time for dries.
Yeah, surely it's time for dries. But luckily, it looks like a lot of the teams are spread out enough that double stacking won't be an issue. But yeah, now who's going to get the pit entry wrong? We are going to see, I'm predicting it, 3, count them, 3 speeding penalties. What is going on?
Portsmouth is having a chuck up the inside on... Oh, Michael Louise, they make contact again. Michael Louise had an almighty snap getting onto that straight. As yet, the top two diving the pits. They're all diving in. A late call there from Alfie. Cuts over the white line. We'll see if that one gets investigated later on. But they're all desperately diving in the pits. And Portsmouth has got a 10-second penalty.
Yep, there's one. I'm predicting 3.
Schaefer's on mediums, and look at that, the top two, almost wheel to wheel coming out the pits there. Schaefer does jump ahead of the Mercedes, but medium tyres, now they will absolutely struggle to make the finish. I'm totally sure of that.
What? I need something. I'm glad I don't have anything near me to throw. That's all I'm going to say. So Danique now leads this race on track.
Most likely. I mean, unless Schaefer...
There's no way he takes those 16 laps on
It needs a
mediums?
miracle.
Yeah.
He will
His
be.
setup better be super easy on the tires.
So Raheem, the only driver then that pitted a lap early, has benefited a little bit from that, I believe. He's setting a purple final sector there and has jumped up a couple of places. He's still quite far down though for him. But so Schaefer Capri, his AI's put him on medium, Schaefer on medium as well. So something, they're obviously smoking something down at RB to be going on to that strategy. But, well, can he make it to the end? I mean, this is a track where it's a little bit more difficult to overtake Logan, but there is so many DRS zones here now that if his tyres are cooked at the end of this race, he may struggle here.
If his tires are cooked, they will absolutely be cooked. The question is, are they going to push her? Hariberman touches Codematic. Codematic got around Hariberman, actually. Look at this battle. For P6, which way is it going to go? Left, right, and left again, and right again. Oh, they get to the wall. Oh, and there's a piece of wing missing. Hariberman, the championship contender, with wing damage.
And there goes
J
J
Oaks.
Oaks.
You only have one set of hards. You only have one set of hards, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So he really is in massive trouble now because if he does pit again, which I'll be shocked if he does, will have to go onto mediums and he'll be in the same boat as Schaefer. But at the end of the day, how much damage is on that Aston? It looks like there's a lot because here comes Gomatic again, down the start finish, straight down the inside. Is he going to get the move? Yes, he does. Just about a bit more contact. The Aston's hanging it on though, and there's the Ferrari. What a battle this is between a lot of them. The gloves are off here. Codematic still trying to get past and make contact.
Oh, he's around. Oh, he saves it.
Ah, dear. I mean, he's kept it going, and there goes J Oaks now on Codematic to the outside. Codematic defending hard. Oh my word, they make more contact. This is seriously getting feisty here.
He broke so late and held it. When I saw him break so late, I was like, well, he's gone. We'll see you in the next one. But he held that somehow. Wow, he outbroke J Oaks by so much there. And out front, Schaefer pulling a gap, but his tires won't make it. I will be shocked if they do. Danique looking good here, and it's 9 seconds back to Alfie.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that bit of drama there, Codematic then has lost a bit of time to Portsmouth in 5th. Michael Luis has broke the DRS to the Mercedes. He's seemingly running a bit better now. The conditions have dried, but there is Alfie 8.7 seconds behind Danique in 2nd, who's dropping time to Schaefer. I mean, I say that as he sits fast lap of the race, but Schaefer has got that gap a little bit bigger.
J Oaks almost goes to the back of Codematic in the last chicane under braking, gets himself a time penalty for his trouble. But man, that was almost a bad crash there. Yeah, Hariberman falling off a bit. He's no longer in the DRS. And we'll see if Sci-Fi is able to catch up to him. But yeah, the battle right now on track is J Oaks and Codematic, who J Oaks almost gets into the back of again. And they're going to be battling here at the end of the first sector. I'm sure of it. Good exit there. They're both low on battery. Here comes Jokes. J Oaks.
There he goes.
He gets through, but with the 3-second time penalty, he's going to have to absolutely take off down the road. Codematic late on the brakes. Doesn't get into the back of him, though.
Yeah, it's feisty in this midfield. Yeah, it is very much so in this race.
Michael Luis has caught Alfie as well. He's now within DRS of him. He's made up about 1.5 seconds in the last 2 laps on Alfie. Looks like Michael Luis has got the pace in the dry. We'll see how much time he can make up, because there's a huge gap from 3rd to 2nd.
Absolutely, yeah. Alfie really has put the anchors on. JVKP is finally back in the session, but has an unbelievable amount of work to do if he wants to salvage any points. At the end of the day, he needs to salvage something for RB's championship. Oh my word, Portsmouth there with a massive slide on the exit of that right-hander there, and just about held on to that one. So Michael Luis here, how does he... Yeah, he is. He is flying, but they're very close on pace, that top 2. I say that there's a yellow flag.
Caution,
that's Action Rick.
Action Rick around. It's been a while since I've said that.
I think Schaefer, he must be getting warnings on his lap. It still says Schaefer's personal best is a 1:44.8, which is absolutely not the case. But what that tells us, surely, is Schaefer is definitely picking up warnings here, because surely it would. That's the only way it's not triggering it.
Oh,
late move!
Oh, wow, wow! was so late. Wow, and then they touch on the exit. Whoa, 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 and he locks up the rears. He gets through, though.
That was borderline, and that's an understatement, because that was oh so close to an airplane crash there.
Oh, Komatic makes a mistake. Here comes Haberman. Oh, touch. Oh my God, this is so sketchy.
So Michael Luis then now up into third. Critical for the championship now for Haberman, because down in P8, I mean, J Oaks has a penalty, but because he's been in the wall so much here, really, it's going to take a bit of a miracle if he wants to get further up the order and get near to where Michael Luis is, because this, at the minute, is getting critical. With only 2 rounds left after this race, there are 4 cars in between him and Michael Luis at the minute. Michael Luis will need to really get a move on if he wants to catch the top 2. But I tell you, Logan, as Alfie gets a penalty, we're not far off the halfway point. We've still got plenty of racing still to go in this one, and if there's any time in the tank for the likes of Michael Luis, then he needs to get a move on and get after those top 2.
I don't know if he has it. Danique's been quick on the hards. And I don't see Schaefer's tires making it.
Yeah. Well, Schaefer's put in a proper lap now, and that's about 2/10 slower than the fast lap of this race. So he's clearly got the pace right now, as JVKP now sets the fastest lap of the race so far.
Mediums as well.
He is, yeah. So the question is for Schaefer, can he get the gap big enough to either Danique or the others behind to then maybe coast to the line, really, at the end of this one, if the tyres are really struggling? If Danique can just keep that gap how it is now, he's very much looking the favourite to win this race, Logan, just because we're expecting such a drop-off with the mediums.
I'm expecting him to drop off with like 4 laps to go.
So
yeah, that is very far to take the mediums.
Do you think...
Komatic gets to the back of J Oaks.
Yeah, the Ferrari ghost in there.
Keeps Haberman in this battle, and J Oaks is a penalty.
Yeah, this is ideal though for Haberman with that damage. He wants these two to start scrapping so then he can find a way through. Keep an eye on Sci-Fi Mega Hype, actually only a few seconds behind this pack. There goes Komatic to the outside, getting squeezed there against the wall. That was very aggressive defending from the Ferrari, but Komatic does make the move, and there goes Haberman. He's past the pair of them. They're in the wall.
Oh, they're in the wall. Oh my goodness, no. Carbon fiber flying everywhere. Is there damage? Is there damage?
I have no idea why this battle for P6 has got so unbelievably feisty in this one. We're absolutely every lap they are going at it.
Yeah, and Sci-Fi has now caught J Oaks, and J Oaks with the penalty.
Yeah,
he's still in this one for a good position. Then there's pretty big fall off to the cars behind from there, and that gap is the same between Michael Luis and Danique. Not changing. I guess I just kind of said the same thing.
Yellow flags. Oh, there's been another crash.
J Oaks, he's facing the wrong way. No, the track goes that way. Turn it around. Put her in reverse, Terry. J Oaks gets going again.
We've had another moment here at the front. That's Portsmouth now ahead of Alfie, and Alfie hits the wall on the exit as well. Oh my word.
Top Lobster gets through on Raheem, who broke too late into turn something, like 4 or 5. I don't know.
So J Oaks with a puncher then on the rear left. Is that front left?
Yeah.
Is it maybe it's both
left as well. He's got 2 punctures. He's got 2 flat tires. It's a bad time to have 1 flat tire. He's got 2 flat tires.
He has,
He's got a hard time to keep that one going.
That's incredible. I wonder, I don't know if that's, maybe he's run over some debris, maybe?
No, maybe when he was in reverse, he was rubbing it against that wall, so it was just like he was contacting it over and over and over again.
Wow. Well, that'd be a miracle if he can get that to the pit lane, and if he drives at this speed, because the car is literally hanging in the air there, and...
Ooh, look at Alfie and Portsmouth. Portsmouth got through.
He did, yes, he did.
They both have penalties.
J Oaks here, looks like he's going to retire. He's pulled the car up and, well, really struggling to probably get it turned in unless he's just reset to the track. No, he has retired on the circuit. That'll probably be another penalty. And there goes Alfie then on Portsmouth. They're still wheel to wheel. Portsmouth gets a great exit. Alfie chucks it down the inside. They make contact and they're both on the wall. Unbelievable what is going on with some of these drivers tonight. And this is an absolute save and grace for Haraberman, who's now going to be right behind these two. But damage on the Mercedes, I believe. Yes, on the front left end plate. Is there damage on that Haas? I can't quite tell with the camera angle.
Nope.
No damage on the Haas, but certainly damage on the Mercedes, because look at the speed he's going through that corner there. So Haraberman now is right on the tail of these two. And they both have penalties anyway. So Haraberman here, he's going to recover a P4 from absolutely nowhere.
P4 as it stands, but what if Schaefer has to pit? Oh, there's a pretty big gap, though. He won't get Schaefer.
Wow,
but Danique is closing that gap.
Yeah, he is now. And I didn't expect that this soon. Because, again, there is still a long way to go in this one. Nobody's pitting yet. Even with the damage, they are all continuing on. So let's see how this one unfolds. It could get quite nasty between some of these lot.
There goes Gavukapo over Raheem for P10.
So back in the top 10 for him, and you would imagine he can maybe make some more places in the closing stages of this one. But remember, he is on the mediums.
His tires last.
Yeah.
His tires last. Oh my god, this battle is going to continue, isn't it, CJ? It's going to continue. Here we go again. Ding dang, round 3.
Here comes Alfie. This time around, not quite close enough to the Mercedes.
Not using the ERS. Yep, not using the ERS. Oh man, they're so close. This isn't going to end well. I can sense it in me loins.
Oh, he's got a good exit.
Loose on the exit. Oh no. Here we go, right here, right now. Haraberman's just praying that they don't crash into him.
Well, Alfie here, I mean, if he's not got any damage, Danique gets a penalty. Wow. Now that came from nowhere. So, again, that could just throw the cat amongst the pigeons in the final stage of this race. Oh, my word.
Clips the wall on the inside. Mistakes aplenty in Sector 2. And look at Codematic catching the lot of them.
So,
yes, let's get Codematic back in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie though, with that penalty there for Danique, that really is going to just give a little bit of a chance there for Schaefer. Even if the tyres are struggling at the end, if he could just hold off Danique, and even if he does get past, if he could just hold on to that 3-second gap, that just gives him an extra bit of a lifeline there. That's going to be a fascinating thing to keep an eye on in the closing stages here. And so too is this little battle here. I say little battle. It's an almighty battle for P4 because there is Codematic now. Join the party. And, well, look at that exit, though, for Alfie there. Great exit. He backs off, though. He wants the DRS. Got to be careful, mate. You don't get picked off by the Aston Martin right behind you. He gets another good exit and runs into the back of the Mercedes. So there is Haraberman now, right on the tail of the Haas. This is going to be a freeway scrap down this straight because here is Haraberman moving to the inside. No, thinks better of it. Oh, my word. How they didn't make contact there, though, with how close they were going for the apex of that corner. I'm not ready for this, Logan. I think this is going to end in tears.
I'm ready for it. I'm here for the excitement, CJ. It's F2, baby. We're back.
Absolutely. So, lap 14 of 22. Running out of laps now in this one, but they are long laps here at Singapore as Raheem gets a penalty. I thought that was actually Alfie there for a moment with how he was taking that curb. Gets out of shape, though, in the hairpin and gives up the position to Haraberman there. Really in a bit of a tangle under braking. He's
caught Schaefer.
He has. So Schaefer's tyres may be starting to get a little bit worn now. And Danique then he'll need to make that move fairly quickly, even with that penalty, just to get the gap.
Oh! Alfine's at the back of Haraberman.
He's really struggling under braking. Oh, cuts the final corner there.
Whoa, regular corner cutting, not a one.
Yes.
And there goes Codematic.
I'm afraid, Alfie, that's not the line through that corner. I wonder if he's just got the hard tyres too hot here. He seems to be sliding around a lot through some of these corners. And sometimes when you get the tyre a bit too hot, it's quite hard to get it back down to the working temperature. But this time around, it's Haraberman then having a go at Portsmouth, and there's no mucking around here from the championship contender. Moves up into P4 now with an easy move then, but he might have to worry about Codematic here. He may be the bigger threat than the Mercedes coming back at him, because Codematic with no penalties is on a bit of a charge here, Logan.
Yeah, he's very much on a charge here. Like I said, Kodematic, when he keeps his nose clean, he gets free positions, and he's going to get more free positions here tonight if he can continue to stay off the penalty sheet. Danique
Absolutely.
now half a second just behind Schaefer. And Schaefer sliding through that final chicane. Sliding through the final corner. Actually, Danique's going to have the run right here, right now.
Yeah, here he comes. This is for the lead. Gets pushed to the outside by Schaefer almost desperately there. He's got a fantastic exit. He'll have the inside line in the next corner. What a move that is. Schaefer's going to come back at him though. He's not giving this one up easy. And he's going to have the outside line for this next corner. Might just nick DRS for the next straight. They're still wheel to wheel. But Schaefer has to give that one up. He has got DRS though. He may just be able to absolutely send this one on the Mercedes. Goes to the inside. And he does retake the lead. Great racing between the pair of them, and Schaefer hangs on for now, but he's still got a hell of a lot of laps that he's got to keep doing this defending for, Logan.
Alfie gets to the back of Kodematic there, almost spins himself around, and yes, still a lot of work to be done. Those tires are dying for Schaefer quickly.
Schaefer's struggling. He is struggling a lot there, going through that corner. I mean, we expected a bit of a thrilling finale, but we've already got it here in Singapore. My word, Danique was late on the brakes there. Almost ran into the back of the RB, but Danique will know here. He needs to get the move done, and early. He can't leave it to the final couple of laps, because with that penalty, he needs to get the gap.
Alfie getting to the back of Kodematic again under braking.
So, we've got two big battles then on the track for the lead and for P4 in this one. Paul Smith is still ahead of Kodematic, by the way, but he has now dropped out of DRS to Harriman. Harriman getting a bit of breathing room there. On to lap 17. Not long to go, and Schaefer still leads this race. But how are those medium tyres? They are surely now in a hell of a lot of bother compared to those hard tyres. And again there, a massive slide coming out the corner. Danique will set this one up, Logan, and we'll have an almighty go down the straight. You can guarantee it.
Yeah, absolutely, CJ. Absolutely. Take us on board with it. I'm watching this battle in the midfield just in case
Here he
something
comes.
chaotic happens.
Goes to the outside, get very close. Almost contact again. He's getting forced wide. They almost both go in the wall. Danique keeps the throttle on though and takes the lead. Now that might be controversial because he got shoved off the track. He's giving the place up. Now that is interesting that he's managed to do that early. He's coming back at him though. He's going to have the inside line for this next corner. It's incredibly tight through here and backs out of it. Smart driving from Danique here, but chapeau to Schaefer here because he is doing all he needs to do to hang on to leading this race. And what an almighty battle this is for the win here.
It's an almighty battle for the win. It's an almighty battle for P4. It's just an almighty race.
Absolutely. I knew Singapore was going to be good, but this is being a grand slam finisher. Schaefer again struggling to get the throttle down with those tyres absolutely crying out for a bit of grip just there. And these kind of corners, it's not too bad. He can settle down a little bit because he knows the Mercedes can't quite get through there. But once again, we've got another DRS straight coming up.
He clips the wall. He spins himself around but keeps it going.
So, more pain then for Alfie. And with that penalty now, can be absolutely sure he's probably out of that mix for that one. We've got less than 5 laps to go now. And these leaders are still going at it. You can see Schaefer, he is charging up the battery through these corners because he knows he has to absolutely empty the tank down this straight. This is the real target spot for Danique to have a go, and he's going to have another go, all right. Here he goes to the inside, no. Settles it down again, just sits behind the RB, again gets a much better exit, but maybe a little bit of patience this time around, trying to pick his spot. He's got no ERS at all, but neither does Schaefer. And he's got another terrible exit there. I mean, those tyres, Logan, they must be at least above 70% now.
Yeah, I don't know if his tires are going to make it. I don't mean in terms of fall off. Caution, Sector 3, that is someone.
Scones.
Or green again.
Oh, terrible exit for Schaefer. Danique has the DRS wide open and the ERS. Is he going to have a look? No, again. Playing it safe. Playing it very safe there. But Schaefer, at least here, Logan, he's getting the battery charged where he can. The problem for Danique, he's not charging the battery at all. The battery has been under 20% all lap so far, so he's making his life extra difficult, although he has got a great exit there. DRS once more, but he can't get near it. He's got no ERS at all.
ERS is important, gotta manage it. Codematic still battling with Portsmouth. Haribo-man's broken away from that group a little bit, and Alfie has fallen off, so now it's just
Here he
a
comes.
car fight.
Danique again to the outside in this corner. He's very ambitious there. Almost gets forced into the wall. Incredible stuff. Once more, they've got a drag race down this straight, almost touching tires. They do touch. Oh, they've hit the wall, and he's out. He is out of the race, smashes into the barrier, and I think we've got a safety car. It's at VSC at least, but you could just see that coming. Danique there was risking it, going wheel to wheel, and he has paid the price. That might go to the stewards later on, but a disaster for the Mercedes driver. He'll be devastated with that. And it's actually only a VSC, which means Schaefer is going to have about a good old margin to Michael Luis in these closing stages. But a dramatic end to that battle there, Logan. And, well, I think it's going to be a bit controversial, that's for sure.
It is. We have guys diving into the pits for what kind of tires? Softs, I hope. Yeah, we got people diving in.
Yeah.
Kavuka put some mediums! There's 4 laps to go, bud!
The question is, if this VSC stays out, Schaefer surely won't pit now. The gap's too tiny. DRS enabled. We are green. We're green. So, the question is now, can Schaefer hang on from Michael Luis of all people? Michael Luis has got that gap now down to
70%.
4.4 seconds. He is taking chunks of time out of Schaefer, considering he was over 11 seconds behind the top two at one point in this race. Michael Luis could still win this race, unbelievably.
I will eat a hat. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't get it, CJ. Why'd we go to mediums? Why?
I know.
Also, Kavuka, but why'd you go to mediums? Does RB know anything other than the color yellow?
Well, he's got 3 laps, well, probably more, about 2.5 laps to go now for Schaefer. And whatever happens in the stewards later on with that incident, he is really, really struggling. That gap now is, Michael Luis is almost a second out of the RB. And he is actually saving the battery quite a bit. I will add that bit of context in there. But those tyres, will they puncture in the closing stages here? It might not even need that, because Michael Luis, again, takes a bit more out of that gap and is closing in on Schaefer here.
Codematic and Portsmouth going and they touch, and they're in the wall!
Oh my God. How many times have we seen that in this race? And there goes Alfie right around the outside. And with a good exit, no, he's going to get re-overtaken by Codematic. So the battle continues on. And I know Alfie's got a penalty, but you would think there he was going to get that 4th place.
Yeah, I was thinking it, and man, even the post-race stewards penalties are going to play a factor into this one. But other than that, the field is very spread out. Scons and Raheem battling. Scon sends it! Yeet! He ain't getting that stop.
Where's he gone? Yeah, I looked at that on the broadcast camera there, and there was no car there.
There's just no car. He's in a different area code.
Meanwhile,
Tom Lobster's going to get Portsmouth. What happened to Portsmouth?
Yeah, something's gone on there. He's got big damage on that front left now. The wing, I think he's hit the wall again there. He's coming in the pits. So more trouble for him.
From crashing out in qualifying, having to pit for damage on lap 1, he is in the 6th, and his penalty slate is clean. Portsmouth quits
on the penultimate lap. So
Top Lobster in the 6th. What a showing by him, and he's only 3 seconds behind Alfie. He could get 5th.
I tell you something else. Michael Luis could still catch Schaefer here. Got a lap and a half to go here as Jacob Cappi gets the fastest lap. And Schaefer is really, really struggling. He's having to seriously drag this to the line here. And this could be a last lap showdown here. You got the championship leader hunting down Schaefer. He knows, Michael Lewis, it is absolutely vital that if he can win this race, he may just have one hand on the trophy already with a gap to Hariberman going well above 20 points. But Schaefer trying to get to the line here. Is going to have one lap to hang on. And it's that Harriman in the wall? No, it's Action Rick. I just had a mini heart attack there, seeing that Aston Martin with the yellow flag. But it's just Action Rick down in 12th place. Look at Michael Lewis here, Logan. He is all over the tail of Schaefer.
Yes, he is. This is probably going to be a win for him. I can't believe these tires haven't punctured yet. They're 16 laps old.
This is it. He's got a good exit.
They both have equal ERS. Here comes Michael Lewis. He's going to get him.
Here he comes. Oh, they make a bit of contact, I think, down the straight there. But there he goes, into the lead. Heartbreak for Schaefer, unless he can somehow muster a good exit there. He can't. And it looks like Michael Lewis has got this done, although Schaefer is, again, a little bit close there. Might just have another little send at any opportunity. But Michael Lewis there takes the lead. And surprisingly, in an easy way, Logan. Oh, but maybe that's just the tires.
Gavukapo gets through on Sci-Fi on the final corner going into the start of their final lap. Top Lobster has caught the fight of Alfie and Codematic. Still position changes to be had in the last half of a lap. Michael Lewis absolutely handed a race for free based off of bad strategy calls and crashes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Alfie with a mistake. Top Lobster's going to get him. Well, he's going to get him anyhow on penalties, but here he goes to get him on track. That's like a Tiger through there, but he's able to make it work.
Here he is then, Michael Lewis. We did not think he was going to win this race, but he's going to come around the final corner, and he will win for 2 weeks in a row. What a victory for Michael Lewis. That could be championship deciding there. He caught Schaefer and put a good old 3 seconds almost on him at the end of that one, and 24 seconds back is Harriman. He may know now that he's got a mountain to climb in these final 2 rounds. The Scone crashes on the last lap, but Harriman will round the final corner with the damage on that front wing to a P3, which he seems fairly pleased about. But Michael Lewis, Logan, will be absolutely delighted with that. He never looked like he was going to win that race until the closing stages there, but he always comes up with the goods.
Did he come up with the goods, or did everyone else just hand him the goods? Everyone else just kind of handed that one to him. But hey, keeping it clean is very important in F2. That's all you had to do. Not be an idiot and go to medium tires, not get involved in really stupid battles, and you're just absolutely handed the win, even though you had no pace today. Good job! Keeping your nose out of danger. The most important thing in F2, and he did just that.
Well, the thing is,
a classic Kevin Cal style win.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say as well, Schaefer didn't get a puncture then at the end of that race. Those mediums, they made it. I mean, they were really struggling, but they did make the finish. I really thought they were going to puncture, but they didn't in the end. But there he is, your race winner. And I would probably say that was the most unlikely Michael Lewis win we'll probably see all season.
Yeah, that was a race from beginning to end. I don't even know what to say. Alfie with the ties with Portsmouth. Actually, no, it's Ronnie. Even though he DNF'd, wins the Darkie Award for the day with that 10-second time penalty. What a race!
Wow.
What a season! What a day!
Well, Danique is not happy at all. And, B29 saying, oozing Red Robin flashback. And for those who know that reference, it very much is so. That very same corner, Danique and Schaefer crashing out. But in the end, neither of them picked up the win, despite that brilliant battle.
Do they mean the burger joint?
I'm afraid not. It was a season 22, I think, reference that one. But anyways, Michael Lewis then wins once more. Schaefer then on the podium for the second week running as well. And Hariberman in third. Codematic getting a top 5 finish, and Top Lobster on his debut getting a 5th place. He'll be delighted with that. But we have to say, this is looking like that is pretty much Michael Luis having one hand on the trophy. Are we going to go that far, Logan? Because, I mean, the gap now, with a very quick bit of maths, I think, is up to... it is now up to 21 points to Harbourman. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Hammerman's gonna have to make something happen, but it's still less than a race difference. So one
Mm,
crash for Michael Luis could put Hammerman in contention in the very next race.
yeah. And that next race is Japan. Heading to Suzuka, we've seen plenty of dramatic races there before. With then Brazil as the finale, we've again seen plenty of drama there before. It's still all to play for. I think when I realise now that that's 21 points, I think Harriman is very much still in the mix. And you have to say, for those two championship challenges, Logan, it was serious damage limitations in the end, because at one point they were both looking like they were going to struggle to finish in the top five now.
Yeah, and then everyone else just crashed and went the wrong tires.
Yeah. A word on the Schaefer-Denique crash. What's your thoughts on that one?
I didn't see it. I was watching the midfield battle.
That's absolutely fine. So that one will go to the stewards, we would believe, and we'll see what ends up with that one. Denique obviously not happy at all. A shame for both, because they both were doing really well at Singapore. Both had great qualifyings and really good pace in that race. It's not often we've got drivers that are over 10 seconds on pure pace ahead of Michael Luis. But unfortunately for them, neither of them were able to pick up their first win in TFR eSports. Again, damage limitations for RB in the constructors, with Scones crashing at the end there. That means RB, I think, are going to ever so slightly eke a bit more advantage at the top of that one. And obviously Ferrari and Aston Martin are probably out of the mix now in terms of contending for the title. So like I say, Japan next up, Logan, in Suzuka. What is your thoughts on that one? And is there any particular driver that you're thinking is going to be the favourite?
I have no idea, but I do know that having a setup that manages the tire temperatures is going to be important. So there might be a difference between qualifying pace and race pace in that one. Skinny track, more brutal in mistakes with that grass and a lot of high-speed corners. Man, it's going to be another chaotic race, I feel. But that's not really a bold statement considering how every race has gone this season.
Yes, absolutely. Well, strap yourselves in and be ready for that one next week, because I always think Suzuka in F2 absolutely delivers an action-packed race. And then you'll be sure Brazil, the finale, in 2 weeks' time, will be unmissable if we still have this title fight. Obviously, Michael Luis could seal the championship next week if he outscores Harbourman by 12 points or more. Be sure to check out that race then next week, the F2 Japanese Grand Prix. I've been CJH on Com tonight, joined by Epic the Animal, and we'll see you in the next one. There we are.